So, my grandmother taught me any day you wake up on the right side of the grass. It's just something that stuck with me, what she said a long time ago when I was a kid. When you wake up on the right side of the grass, it's a good day, right? Winter's coming. Don't have too many more days like this left. Everything changes, right? And change is is something that comes up in my life and all of our lives every single day. And being a a mindset coach, working with people, working with kids, I come across this all the time, including in my own marriage. I've had the ability to constantly change, always, consciously. In fact, things change in my life massively every single day. When my wife and I met, uh, she resisted change so much that she would physically get sick. Then she met me. And today, she no longer physically gets sick. She is realizing change, all right, rapidly. And so when we talk about learning, when we talk about living, when we talk about growth, how are we leading? What are we saying? What are we doing that's not only programming ourselves, but also programming our children? The word teaching could also be switched to programming, right? Because what people experience, see, hear, feel with our senses, that's how we build our belief, our values, our belief system, our values, all of that kind of stuff. And then we develop patterns and habits in life of how we carry things out, how we intake information, all of that. And, one of the biggest things I see with every single client in every conversation I have, not every, but almost most conversations, most clients, is the lack of willingness to change. We've learned to control. I want to control this. And now that brings in the ego. And that brings in another layer of issue, problem, consequence. Limiting life. Okay? I did a post yesterday, trust, allow, believe. And my foundation is Jesus Christ, faith. Okay, so I have that foundation of faith. And then I was given by our Creator this body and my mind, unconscious mind, logical mind, I call smart, stupid mind. Absorbs millions of bits of data per second, 7, 8, 9, 10 over here. Okay, this carries out our habits, beliefs of things that we've experienced and learned. The unconscious mind records, remembers everything, but it doesn't know the difference between good and bad. So whatever comes in and how we process that and spit it out in our habits, our patterns, our beliefs, and that stuff, it comes back and says, oh, Spencer wants more of that. Okay, so if it's negative, it's going to be negative. If it's positive, it'll be positive. But change, there's nothing in life that doesn't change constantly. So I want you to think about this and keep it in mind. Why are we trying to control everything? We are limiting ourselves. We are keeping ourselves in a box. But outside the box, we open up our mind. We allow uncertainty and we allow change. And since I have been more vocal about Jesus Christ being my foundation, instead of being quiet about it, I'm outside of that box. I'm allowing that to guide, and I'm allowing change. I'm embracing the uncertainty, and it's taken off. I mean, there's things coming out from everywhere, opportunities endless for me. That's why I'm sharing information like this. We need to get to a point where we stop trying to control, because what are we teaching our kids? We're teaching them to control, not to change, not to grow, not to allow. Okay? And in sports, like I had a conversation yesterday with a coach. He says, I don't want to ever be an assistant coach because I can't, because I do it this way. I want to control it. I don't want anything to change. But yet I'm watching this and nobody is benefiting from that, including him. The girls are being taught. The boys are being taught. People are being taught to control and eliminate that change. That's programming. That's not positive programming. And that's creating all kinds of blockages and issues in life and growth. So people with a foundation, especially faith, and you allow, and you trust, and you believe, and you open your mind and accept change, because everything changes no matter what all the time. Even on your worst day, if you do nothing, everything is going to change and it's going to get more positive. That's a signal. That's a sign. Pay attention, be aware, begin to develop, and you can do this 2% a day. Do something to change 2% a day to start allowing and stop controlling, and rewire, reprogram that aspect. Because once you do that, especially on faith, that foundation, things will begin to just happen that you can't even explain. God bless. I hope this message is helpful. Keep it in mind.